A nomad is a person having no permanent abode and who travels from place to place to find fresh pastures. That's me. That's my story. That's my nomadic way. Well, hello again. All right. As I promised, I was going to do a video on pros and cons of nomadic lifestyle. This is going to be a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to get as much in as fast as I can. There's a lot of explanations that I'm not going to be able to get into, but anyway, to me, one of the greatest things about being a nomad is freedom. I'm a very free-spirited person, so this is definitely my cup of tea. Adventure. Yeah, there's so much adventure. I mean, you can see and go to so many different places. And me, I know it's going to sound weird, but I love cemeteries. That's one of my things. I always have been. I used to do smudgings. You know, put the poster or whatever paper against the tombstone, and I used to do the rubbings. Because some of those sayings are just so original. You don't find them except one or maybe two tombstones. A drawback on that, though, you have your freedom, you have adventure, but if you don't have the money, if you don't have the finances, you're not going to experience that many things. It takes money to go to certain areas, to see certain monuments. It takes money to go to the Grand Canyon. I mean, it takes money. And if you don't have that much, you're going to find yourself not having as much of an adventure. But you will have the freedom. You have the freedom to move where you want to go to, when you want to go, where you want to go. You have that freedom. And that's something you don't have when you're in a stick and brick home. I mean, you have it, but you can't just go and enjoy it for that long of a time. Weather makes a difference. I'll tell you. Cold weather. Oh, and it's chilly right now. It really is. I mean, I'm low. I want this in the back of my neck. It could make you feel miserable, and it could keep you indoor, and especially if you're in a van like I'm in. You're stuck in there, you know? And yes, you could have a heater. I definitely, agree there, but it's still not the same because you're stuck in a closed-in place. You're not out there wide open, In a house, you have other rooms to go into. In a van, that's your one room. And the heat. Heat is another thing, okay? We spend most of our times outdoors. The van dwellers do anyway, most of them. And outdoors can be it can be unhealthy for you. You can, oh my goodness, skin cancer. That's one thing that is very, very, very bad. And when you're out there in the sun, 12 hours a day, let's say, 10 hours a day, that's a lot of sun on you. So definitely you need protection, you need sunblock, you need a hat. Wear a hat, wear protective things. But at the same time, the sun is very good for you. I mean, come on, vitamin D, ho-ho. My doctor, or one of my doctors, told me that I lacked in vitamin D, and I said, how the heck do I lack when I'm out in the sun all the time? But anyhow, that's here nor there. One of the other things is that we have to be very careful about is stress. It can be very stressful when you're traveling from place to place, trying to find the location of where you're supposed to be going, trying to make decisions. I mean, that's stressful. And then when you get to a new place, sleep. Oh my God. It's always, my first night is always a sleepless night. And actually, I had a sleepless night last night too, so. But it's, you hear things that are different from the other place you were at. And you're more alert to what's going on. You know, you're getting yourself used to where you're at, and nighttime is not the best time, because that's when your imagination just goes all over the place. You know, it could be Sasquatch, it could be a bear, it could be anything, you know. And another thing about this lifestyle is your posture. You know, we're driving all over the place, and we're kind of hunched in a sense, you know, and we drive for hours to get from one place to another, which that is bad on your back, that is bad on your knees. I try to get out as often as I can. At least, every hour and a half, I try to get out and walk around the van. Or walk inside. I might stop at a place to get gas, or I might stop at a place to get coffee or whatever. And I exercise my body, because your body can go through a lot. I mean, the wear and tear that it goes through just traveling, that's a lot too. And let's see. Oh, yes, loneliness. You know, this is really a lonely lifestyle. But it's good for a lot of people that like to be alone. Introverts love it because they don't have to be bothered with neighbors or anything. They could find a location far away from everybody. I try to. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But then again, sometimes I like to be around people, and I like to be able to meet new people. And so it's got its pros and cons on that too, because it's hard. I don't like making friendships very much because I don't like leaving them, or I don't like them leaving me. So it's really hard to meet people and develop any real friendship. And another thing you have to do, though, is when you're camping out, when you're in a new location, you have to be wary about who you're making friends with. Yep, you could be making friends with the wrong people. And as a female, I try to avoid making very close contacts with the male. It's just, you know, I'm leery about it. I'm wise to the world. But I'm very lucky also because I have very good instincts. And if I even get a little twinge in my belly about a person, I make sure they stay far away from me, or I stay far away from them. But loneliness is a bad thing when you're living this lifestyle. Another thing I was going to say about the weather is, because I've been experiencing that since I've been here, well, actually for the last few months, rain. You're stuck stuck in your van in the rain. So, you know, it's not that pleasant. It's not that pleasant. But I do entertain myself, like I've told you in other videos. I do read, and I do like to color, and I play games on my phone, what have you. Hygiene. That's another item. We have to keep our body clean, because cleanliness is health. If you're not clean, if your body isn't clean, you're going to eventually get sick. Yes, wipies, those wet wipes are wonderful. They are a temporary fix. I do have a source to be able to take a shower, but weather makes a difference too. And location makes a difference. Like right now, I would not take a shower out here because I got too many people out here. But it makes a difference where you're at. I try to at least once a month find a place where I could take a shower and literally get underneath that water and let it keep flowing on me. It's the only time I abuse water. But, you know, it always feels so good to do that. The restrooms, that's another thing. I have my porta potty, and I have to empty it out every so often, and of course I put bags in it in case I have to do something that isn't liquid. Or could be liquid. But anyway, but a lot of people don't, and mine has a cover on it that's, you know, it keeps the odors out, and I do keep things in it to keep the odors out. But some people don't have that, and the smell can be very bad, especially when you're stuck in there in the rain and you can't get out. That's when it really is bad. Otherwise, it's not so bad. Pets. Your pet needs freedom to run around, to exercise. And to me, having a pet with you is a plus. They're entertaining, they're a wonderful companion, and believe me, when you don't feel good, they know it, and they're there to try to make you feel better. Some people don't believe that, but I definitely do, because I've experienced it. But they do need to have their exercise. They need their freedom. And another thing that you have to worry about with pets when you're traveling is their health also. You know, if they're sick, where's the closest vet? Is the vet is he a good vet? Is he not a good vet? Because I've had some horrible vets. Another thing with pets with you is hair. My lungs are full of pet hair, okay? Oh, when they cut me open, that's all. I'm going to have a very furry lungs. I don't have to worry about winter and my lungs because I've got a fur coat. Dirt. They do bring dirt in, but then of course we do too. Food. We have to make sure that, you know, some animals need specific type of food, and sometimes it's not very readily available. So my suggestion is, when you can do it, when you can find the food that they need, get a little extra just in case. And another thing that's bad about, and I'm talking about a lot of this is the van, because that's what I live in, is a van. Sometimes it's not so bad, like in an RV, you've got more space, you know, even with the weather, I mean, you've got a lot more available to you inside, and you could stand up, which I can't. But the smell. Animals have smell. I don't care. And then you can't really wash them as often as you'd like. You can't give them baths like you would like to do. So, yeah, they do smell. sometimes you smell like them too. How about that? I know I do at times. I'm not going to deny that. Ruff, ruff. Okay, refrigeration. And I'm going to get one. I'm going to get a refrigerator. It's a 12 volt, also 110. But I'm going to get one because I really need it. I have my coolers, but to be very honest, I use them for my supplies because ice melts so fast, and everything you put in it, it gets wet, and even when you put them in little tubs and all, it's messy. It's just messy and stinky. So, yeah, if you could find, if you have solar, or a generator, that's a great thing to be able to have as a refrigerator that you can keep your food in at a reasonable temperature. Another thing about this van life, and there's pros and cons on this also, supplies. Where do you get your supplies? Well, you know, there's a lot of places you can get very inexpensive supplies. Today I am making some noodles, elbow macaroni, and Dinty Moore beef stew. Woohoo! No preservatives. I like that. And that's what I'm going to have for supper. I already did the elbow macaronis. I've already cooked them. But that is, that's less than $3 right there. Because when I buy a bag of elbow macaronis, I divide them out in little small packages for individual meals. So I don't have this big bag or box or whatever, and it saves space. And those Ziploc bags are awesome to have. I love them. And another thing is water. One of the main things to me is water. You need water. It's essential that you have water, not only to drink, to cook, to keep yourself clean, wash your hair. It's just something that you definitely need. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry about that. Some of the hunters are leaving. They just broke camp and they're fixing to go. Some will stay for several weeks, or at least they leave their campers and tents and things here, and they come on the weekends. But anyway, they're gone, and or they're leaving. Anyway, like I said, water is essential, so please, whatever you do, make sure you have plenty of water when you're traveling. Pick it up. If you don't have it, pick it up somewhere, you know. Stop at Dollar General, like I said, is one of the greatest sources for me, or Family Dollar or Dollar Tree, whatever. But it's very essential that you have that, and try to make sure you keep a good supply of it. And when you're choosing a campsite, try to find one that either has water available or a place that you can get the water very close by. And to me, because I am such a free spirit, okay, rebellion. I'm a very rebellious person. I always have been. My poor mother, I felt so sorry. I really did. Because now I know what rebellion is like when you have kids and you find out that your kids are so much like you. It's kind of worrisome. But another good thing, though, is you know what they're up to because you've done it before, too. But anyway, rebellion, your family, they think, are you crazy? You're going to go live in a van, and you're going to go here and there. Oh, my God, isn't it dangerous? Oh, what about if something happens to you? You know, they give you all this negative things that can happen. They don't look at the positive. They don't. We do, because we're rebellious, and we always look at the positive. Oh, wow, this is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy this. But rebellion is something that we have to deal with. And it has to do with our family. Because a lot of us have families that think we are totally insane, and we have no business doing this, especially when you're a senior citizen like me. You know, you're 75 years old, and you're going out there, and you're going to live out in the woods. Oh, my God, well, how can you do that? You know, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'm the kind, because I am rebellious, I don't care what they think. I mean, I care that they're worried, because that shows that they love you. But, hey, they're going to do what they want to do, no matter what you think or how you feel. Well, likewise, honey, I'm going back to my teenage years. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to do it when I want. So, the end. Anyway, guys, don't forget, love one another, and love thyself. Love thyself. It's important that you love yourself. Sorry, tea. Had to warm up. Hugs to all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for being faithful subscribers. I do appreciate every one of you. Don't forget, hug one person, just one person a day. That's not so hard to do. Shoot. And peace. Oh, and by the way, my next video, which will be tomorrow, not today, I'm putting out enough as it is going to be about Beauty and the Beast. Stay tuned. Oh, and by the way, my next video, which will be tomorrow, not today, I'm putting out enough as it is going to be about Beauty and the Beast. Stay tuned.